Hello, I'm Toby Fox from 1.5 Million New Homes, the local government challenge sponsored by Redloft and Hill Group. Now, the government wants to get 1.5 million new homes built, and the key delivery arm for that national ambition is local government, either as a planning authority guiding new developments through the planning process, or as a partner in a joint venture with the private sector, or directly delivering new homes themselves. So I've come to Cambridge to understand what works and what needs to change to help councils to build more homes. In this episode, I'm looking at investment partnerships, which is a model that's been developed in Cambridge between the City Council and Hill Group to help bring some sites forward for new homes. I'm going to be talking to Ben Binns, who's Assistant Director for Development at Cambridge City Council, and to Tom Hill and to Simone Marsberg from Hill Group, as well as to Danny Sutcliffe at the housing consultancy Redloft. So Ben, you mentioned an investment partnership. What is that and why do you need it?
So an investment partnership in this, the one we've set up, is a 50-50 joint venture with Hill Group in this instance. It's a limited liability partnership, and the way it's set up is, in essence, the council has land, so whether it's estates or other land that we may choose to buy, that goes into the partnership. We get a land receipt back. Hill, with their technical expertise, design and take forward to planning submission. If we get planning submission, they will then build out the new estate or the new houses as part of the planning permission. The financing can be done by the council. The council may choose to lend to the partnership to fund the development process, and any profits made, if it's a mixed tenure scheme, are shared 50-50. Now, the risk is also shared 50-50, so if prices do go up, the council will have that liability too.
But that's a shared liability.
It's a shared liability.
Yeah.
So unlike direct delivery, where many local authorities had the pain of going through COVID or the Ukraine or the inflation spikes, that the council had to pay all of that pain.
Yeah.
In a partnership,
when costs went up.
When costs went up in a partnership, we share that pain.
Yeah.
As part of that.
Okay. What are the what's the difference between doing it that way and just doing a joint venture or a partnership with a developer? Why an investment partnership? What's special about that?
Well, I think the word partnerships are really important because what that means is the council is an equal partner. And that's really important. You can have partnerships or joint ventures where the contractor or developer dominates. But in this instance, we want it to be an equal partner. We want to set the standard for our council housing in terms of sustainability, in terms of specification, and we also want to have good quality, as you can see from the houses behind us, a stunning council block there. And so it's also dead weight lock in the boardroom. Now, what that means is we can't do anything if we don't agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so a developer or the contractor can't just say we're going to go ahead and do this.
But
nothing
that's like
can happen.
A 50-50 decision. So either party has a veto.
Either party effectively has a veto. Yeah. That's right. Now, in reality, that doesn't happen because in order to avoid that, we work together for solutions. Yeah. So there are checks and balances in there for the council. Yeah. The other check and balance that comes with it, although you might have a pipeline of, say, 1,000 homes, at this council, every development still has to go through a committee approval. Yeah. And, of course, planning approval. So, we can slow or speed up as the council wishes, depending on finances or depending on some concerns of a particular estate. So there are checks and balances inbuilt into the partnership.
Well, we've got an opportunity to speak to the other members of that partnership as well. So we've got Simone and Tom from Hill Group here with us. So let's ask them a bit about that partnership. Simone, can you tell us a little bit about why this works from a developer point of view? And maybe there's a couple of questions after that around, presumably you're getting an easy ride on planning as a result of being in a cosy relationship with the council?
Not at all, no. I think we're under more scrutiny. They're more difficult to get things through. They scrutinise us a lot heavier. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the main driver for us is access to land. That's a big challenge, especially in Cambridge. It's expensive. So working with the council, we're able to deliver the regeneration of the sites. Yeah.
And the driver for you as a company in the first place to explore this, why did you want to go ahead with this particular partnership?
It gave us the opportunity to deliver in Cambridge, where we're based. This is our starting point as a company.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of sentiment there. And it was good to work with the council to be able to deliver the homes that we can.
Fantastic. Thanks very much. Tom, what does this mean for you as a company? And does it actually mean that you're constrained slightly? Because if you're developing with a single partner over a period of time, conditions change, right? And as a developer, you need to respond to changing circumstances. Do you get restricted if you're in a partnership like this?
Not at all. I think one of the key things about a partnership is trust and relationships. You work together, you share the risks, you share the rewards. If circumstances change, you work through those circumstances together.
Yeah.
And you adapt to those challenges. It's important you're flexible, you work closely with your partners, you trust and help each other. That's the key to a successful partnership.
Thanks, Tom. Ben, again, on that kind of partnership aspect, I'm old enough to remember a thing called an asset-backed vehicle, which was set up by a number of local authorities, I guess 15 years ago. And one of the problems with those was that they restricted the local authority in terms of partners that they could work with. They were sort of all in with a single development partner. And over a period of time, that relationship started to deteriorate. Is that not a risk for you in this partnership?
I think all partnerships are a risk, but the trick is, as Tom says, is trust and building up that trust, and also continuities. Personnel change, and you have to be resilient and build in processes and systems to make sure that partnerships can continue. And there will be times when it's difficult and challenges, and we work together and sit down, we knock heads together and go, right, what are we going to do about this? How are we going to resolve this? And the great thing about a longer term partnership, the council's here forever. But if we're in a partnership with Hill for, say, 10 years or longer, then the benefit of that is that they see further into the future. They're not just building something and then leaving.
And over the period of that partnership, what are your hopes for it? What's the scale of delivery ambition?
Well, we've got a pipeline of 2,000 homes, 1,000 market homes, 1,000 council homes, and we want to deliver them with Hill. And with a little bit of help from government, we think we can do that by 2030.
So, Danny, we've heard a lot about investment partnerships, the investment partnership between Cambridge City Council and Hill Group. Is this a solution that works for every council or many councils? What are the circumstances it applies in?
It's hard to say that it'll work for every council, but we're increasingly seeing work for lots and lots of councils. And that's because it brings together the best of the private sector with the best of the public sector, and an understanding from both sides of what they bring to the party and what makes them better together. So you bring some of that expertise, particularly with a scheme like this, a partnership like this, which is Hill's experience of building, understanding the local market, knowing that market really well, being able to bring cross-subsidy into it. And then what you get from the local authority is the land, which is really important because that's the scarce resource, but also their understanding of the politics and how to make things work and how to get through the planning process, but also get local people and local communities on board as well. So you're bringing communities in, you're bringing the planning in, but you're also bringing private experience and private sale in. And so you're getting the best of both worlds out of that. So there are times when it works really, really well.
So under what circumstances would you advise a council to investigate setting up an investment partnership?
I think where they've got sites that are stalled, where they're struggling with the viability, so you want to get a deep dive into those build prices, where you've got a long-term pipeline of sites, so you can build that relationship and start to see prices come down, and so that the expertise that you're bringing goes from next site to next site to next site, and you start to get economies of scale, you start to get an understanding. Now, it has to be with the right partner, the partner who understands why you're doing it and understands the area and what you're doing. But if you can do that over time, you can really build value through working in a partnership.
And is there a potential negative in that while you're attracting one partner in and building a better relationship with them, are you kind of souring the pitch a bit for developing relationships with other partners? Don't you get developers saying, well, you know, one company is doing all of that, so we won't go and try and build there?
I think that does happen. I mean, people see, I think, that Cambridge have a great relationship with Hills and are thinking, well, we won't invest time and money in this area. But if you get that relationship right, that doesn't matter. And also, it's not forever. The partnership's not forever. I know Cambridge are working on other projects which Hills aren't part of, and they will be bringing other people in who have got expertise in other areas. So those partnerships don't have to be exclusive, and that's really important as well. But I think it is about building that relationship and getting an understanding of what are the barriers to development for both sides. And it's understanding that councils work in a particular way and have a governance structure which the private sector need to understand, but also the private sector have a governance structure which the public sector need to understand. So there is a two-way street on that governance piece as well.
That's it for another episode of 1.5 Million New Homes, the Local Government Challenge, sponsored by Redloft and Hill Group. We're going to be back with another episode later this month. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching this one. And if you like what we're doing, do click like or subscribe. Thank you very much.